We will start our class prayer. O God, guide me, protect me, light the lamp of my heart, and make me a brilliant child. You are the source of all knowledge. Bless me and my studies, that I may understand, enlighten my will towards what is right, and enable me to become truly wise and peaceful. You are the mighty and powerful. Amen. So, children, now we are going to learn about formula. So, what is a formula we must know? Before this, we have already learnt about what is a symbol. Already we have learned. So, what is a formula we are going to learn? What is a formula? Formula is the symbolic representation or short representation or abbreviation of a molecule, of an element or compound. So, formula is the symbolic representation of a molecule, of an element or compound. So, it is the representation of a molecule. That molecule may be of an element or of a compound. Okay, children, no one should do anything on the screen. Okay, no one should do anything on the screen because there are some disturbance is created. So no one should do anything on the screen. Clear? Now, for example, let us take the example. The molecular formula of ammonium chloride is NH4Cl, and that of calcium carbonate is CaCO3. That of water, you know, it is H2O. So this is molecular formula. That is the short representation or abbreviation used for one molecule of an element or compound. So what is the significance of molecular formula? What does, when we write the formula of a compound or element, then what does it signify? What does it represent? So a molecular formula of a compound represents, first point you see, it represents both the molecule and the molecular mass of the compound. Molecular mass we are going to learn later on. Both the molecule, one molecule of that compound, and it also represents the molecular mass of the compound. Then second thing, the respective number of different atoms present in one molecule of the compound. Suppose ammonium chloride, when we write NH4Cl, it represents one molecule of ammonium chloride, then the molecular mass of ammonium chloride. Then second thing, it represents the respective number of different atoms present in one molecule of the compound. So it contains NH4Cl means it contains one nitrogen, 4 hydrogen and 1 chlorine atom. Okay. Then it also gives the ratio of the respective masses of the element present in the compound. So if you take 100 gram of ammonium chloride, what mass of nitrogen is present, what mass of hydrogen is present, what mass of chlorine is present, that one we can know from this molecular formula. Suppose water, when we write H2O, we can say that in water hydrogen is present in every 9 gram of water, 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen is present. That one, how to calculate all this we will learn later on, but it represents the ratio of the respective masses of the element present in the compound. These are the significance of molecular formula. Now another term we must know before how to write the formula, we must know certain terms. Valency. Valency, it is the number of electrons that an atom can lose, gain or share. Electrons that an atom can lose, gain or share during a chemical reaction. Okay, so this is the new concept that is known as the modern concept of valency or the electronic concept of valency. Before this, in class 8, we got a very simple definition. The definition was it is the combining capacity of an element. But here, valency, we are getting a new definition that is known as the electronic definition or the modern definition. So now onwards, we have to use this definition. Valency is the number of electrons that one atom of an element can lose, gain, or share during a chemical reaction. Is that clear? Now, the second thing we will see, elements which are having 1, 2, or 3 electrons in their outermost shell are generally metals. So they can lose electron. In the definition, we have already learned that electrons that an atom can lose. So here, which atom can lose? If the atom is having 1, 2, or 3 valence electron in the outermost shell, then they generally lose electron because they are metals. Similarly, if they are having, for example, sodium can lose electron. It is having 1 valence electron, so it can lose 1 electron to give Na+. Similarly, elements with 5, 6, or 7 electrons in their outermost shell, they are generally non-metal and they gain electrons. For example, you can take example of oxygen. Oxygen is a non-metal. It is having 6 electrons in its outermost shell, and that is why it can gain 2 electrons to form O2 minus. So this is what the main concept about valency. Is that clear? Valency, how many electrons one atom can lose, gain, or share during a chemical reaction. Then some of the elements are having variable, they show variable valency. In class 8 also we have learnt about variable valencies. So some of the example I want to give you, variable valency. Now copper is showing 2 valencies. You can see copper is showing 2 valencies, that is 1 and 2. The copper ion having 1 valency is known as cuprous ion or copper 1, and the copper ion having 2 valency 2 is known as cupri. Similarly, mercury is having 2 valencies. One is 2, one is 1, and second one is 2. You can see here it is written Hg2 2 plus, that means Hg plus. Okay, Hg plus and Hg2 plus, mercurous and mercury. Iron is having 2 valencies, that is ferrous or ferric. Lead is having 2 valencies, 2 and 4, plumbous and plumbic. Tin is having 2 valencies, that is 2 and 4, stannous and stannic, and so on. So these are some of the examples of variable valencies. Now let us come to another term, that is radical. What is a radical? A radical is an atom or group of atoms of the same or different elements that behave as a single unit with a positive or negative charge. You can see part by part we will see. First of all, radical can be one atom or a group of atoms. If it is a group of atoms, then they should behave as a single unit. Okay, if it is a group of atoms, then they should behave as a single unit. And these may be atom or maybe group of atoms, they must carry either a positive or negative charge. Is that clear? We have already learnt about radical. So different types of radical we will see. A radical which contains a single atom is called simple radical. For example, Na plus or Cl minus. These are simple radical. A radical which contains 2 or more atoms is called a compound radical, like OH minus or SO4 2 minus sulfate ion. So all these are known as compound radical. Then a radical which carries the positive charge is called a positive radical or basic radical or cation. These are the name given to the positive radical. Okay, like Na plus, NH4 plus, all these are positive radical. Then a radical which carries a negative charge is called negative radical or acid radical or anion. A radical which carries a negative charge is called negative radical or acid radical or anions, like SO4 2 minus, CO3 2 minus, etc. Is that clear? You can find, I'm providing you a list of positive radical here. You can see here it is mentioned. This one you can find in your book also, and you have to by heart all these radicals. Okay, there are different radicals. These are the common positive radicals. Similarly, you can see there is a list of negative radical. So you can find different negative radicals. This list is given in your book. Exactly this one is given in the book. So you can by heart it, go through it, and you have to learn it. Okay, without learning these two tables, you will not be able to write the correct formula of any compound. So writing chemical formula, before writing chemical formula, let me ask you if you are having any doubt. Formula, writing chemical formula. Okay. So in writing formula, we are having different steps. First step, whatever formula you are going to write the symbol side by side. Both the symbol you have to write side by side. The basic radical is written first, and then the acid radical. Okay, the positive radical is written first. Then this is the first step. Whatever formula you want to write, first you have to write the symbol side by side. Okay. Second step is write the valency of each atom on top of its symbol. So above the symbol, you have to write the respective valencies. Third step, divide the valency numbers by their HCF if any. Suppose both are having valency 2, then we can divide it by 2. So we will get 1 and 1. Both the valencies can be divided if there is any HCF. Then last step is interchange the valences and write them to the lower right of the radical. Is that clear? Now we will see some children. Don't draw anything on your screen. Don't create disturbance. So write the symbol side by side. Let us take one example. The example we are going to write calcium nitride, Nitride, calcium nitride. Now there are two radical, one is calcium radical, one is nitride radical. So what we have to do, we have to write the symbol side by side and the valency of each atom on top of its symbol. I am going to write that one. First I wrote Ca and the valency is 2 plus. Ca 2 plus. From the radical table you can find this one. Then nitride is N3 minus. The valency of nitrogen is nitride is 3 minus. So I am writing that one. While writing the formula, you should ignore the plus and minus. Now divide the valency number by their HCF if any. 2 and 3 we know they don't have any common factor, so no need to divide. So step number 3 we have to ignore. Now we have to interchange the valences and write them to the lower right of the radical. Now 2 should be written below nitrogen. Let me write it. 2 is written below nitrogen and 3 will be written below calcium. Okay, any doubt here? No doubt, perhaps. I will ask you, I will give you chance to ask doubt later on. In between also, if you show your hand, then we can return and I can ask you doubt. Next is another example we will see. Magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride. Okay. First step is write the symbol side by side and their valency at the top. So magnesium, the valency is 2 plus. I have written Mg, above it 2 plus. Then chloride is Cl and the valency is 1 minus. So when we write 1 in the formula anywhere, no need to write 1. No need to write 1. Now this 2 should be written below chlorine and 1 no need to write. When we don't write anything, we must understand it is 1. Is that clear? So 2 is written to the right lower bottom of chlorine and this 1 no need to write. Now MgCl2 is the formula for magnesium chloride. Any doubt here? Okay. Next, you can see aluminium sulfate. Aluminium sulfate. So aluminium, first we will write the symbol with the valency 3 plus, Al 3 plus. Then we can write the sulfate ion whose valency is 2 minus, SO4 2 minus. Okay. Now what we have to do, we have to see whether these valencies have any common factor. There is no common factor, 3 and 2. Now 3 I have to write below SO4. Now you can see SO4 is a compound ion. SO4 is a containing more than one atom. So this type of compound ion, when we want to write the valency side of it, suppose 3 if I write beside 4, then it will be 43. That is why they should be kept inside a bracket and 3 is written outside the bracket. So SO4, then whole 3. It means that S or S both the atoms 3 times it will be there. Okay, and this 2 what to do? 2 should be written below aluminium. Below aluminium. Okay, so this is how we can write the formula of aluminium sulfate. So let me ask you if you are having any doubt.
So in this table of writing chemical formula, we have one example, sodium aluminate. Sir, the valency of sodium ion here is 1, and when it is taken to the right hand side to the aluminate, this 1 again it is outside the brackets. So does 1 also need to be kept outside the parenthesis here in this example?
Just
do we need to specify this 1 also?
Okay. See, before this we have already learnt about writing the formula of ZnCl2. Magnesium chloride we wrote. So chlorine the valency, chloride ion the valency is 1. Did I write Cl minus? No, I did not write Cl minus. Okay. Just I want all of you to look at the blackboard. Okay. This is the blackboard. What you said? Which one you said?
So sodium aluminate.
Sodium Na plus aluminate. What is the formula?
AlO3 3 minus.
AlO3 3 minus. AlO3 3 minus. Okay. I have written the first step is over. Now the valency I have to write. This valency should be written here. This valency should be written here. Okay. Now this valency is 1. So I told 1, if it is 1, no need to write. So the formula will be NaAlO3. NaAlO3. Na3. This 3 must be written here. No? Na3AlO3. Is it visible to everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose instead of sodium aluminate, suppose you have to write Ca, calcium aluminate. If you want to write calcium aluminate, okay, then what you will write? That 2 plus. Now Ca3, then Al
and
parenthesis, and is that clear?
yes.
So when
Yes.
it is 1, no need to write. Terms discussed. Then next is learn all the tables given in book. That is table 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. Symbols of element derived from Latin name, table of variable valences, list of basic radical, and another list is there which is not shown here, the list of the acid radicals. 1.5 it is given list of. So children, thank you all, may God bless you.